Welcome to episode 2. Today we are going to explore how Bitcoin technology works. For most of us, Bitcoin is no less than a digital magic money. Satoshi Nakamoto, who created Bitcoin, had pretty serious crypto skills. He not only wrote a research paper on peer-to-peer electronic cash and also had the coding and programming skills to create this internet money called Bitcoin. When we talk about Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency or as an internet money, we mean that Bitcoin is not a physical coin, as shown in most of the images representing Bitcoin, nor it is a paper currency similar to government-issued fiat currency notes. Rather, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. And when we say cryptocurrency, it means it is a piece of digital information created through some serious internet programming capabilities. Interestingly, this piece of digital information becomes a cryptocurrency when it is used to store monetary value. The Bitcoin payment network system is used to transfer a money value from one person to another person and thereby serves as a parallel financial system to the existing traditional government issued money. Wow, is not it amazing? So we don't need to hold metals like silver or gold to hold the value, and rather a piece of digital information can be used to store a value that makes Bitcoin a Bitcoin. This unique vital digital information is what is known as private key. And as the name suggests, private key is something like password that is kept secret. As long as you have private key, Bitcoin money belongs to you. The moment you sign into your digital wallet and use your private key to transfer Bitcoin or a part of it, money would change hands from sender to receiver. So a transaction to transfer money value would take place using Bitcoin. I mean, the genius of Satoshi Nakamoto is that Bitcoin is created as decentralized currency. To understand this, let us start with traditional payment network that we use in our day-to-day lives. For example, I purchase goods online, say from Amazon, right? And say I pay it with my credit card. Now I have to pass on my private key, that is my passcode, and the number on the back of my card with some intermediary like a banking institution or credit card company like Visa or MasterCard. And then through this monetary intermediation, authentication takes place and money gets transferred from seller to receiver. So this is traditional payment network system. We all know this one. But in Bitcoin, there is no such intermediary. So there is no financial authority that comes in between. And there is no approval needed to transfer Bitcoin from one person to another person. So when we say Bitcoin is decentralized, it just means that money moves directly from sender to receiver. In order to make trusted transfer of money, Satoshi Nakamoto had to solve a serious issue of making sure that nobody is cheating through double spending of the same Bitcoin. If I have a physical note or a physical coin of our regular currency, and then when I give it to somebody, then I am not left with any copy of the same physical coin or note that I can spend again. So once given, a physical coin or a note is gone forever. I mean, it got transferred to another person. This is what I call absolute transfer of money. So you can't give money and keep a copy of the same money at the same time. So absolute transfer of money is easy when you are doing it with fiat money issued by our governments. But it was a great challenge for Satoshi Nakamoto because Bitcoin is digital. If you send something that is digital like a picture, then you still retain a copy of that picture. But with digital currency like Bitcoin, this can't happen. Satoshi Nakamoto solved this big issue. So when a person, say Alice, sends money to Bob through Bitcoin, then she no longer can retain a copy of that. And if Alice tries to double spend the same Bitcoin or a part of it by giving it to two different people, say Bob and Chris, at the same time, then one of these transactions would be invalid. Amazing. In our regular payment system, so whenever we want to transfer money from buyer to seller or sender to receiver, the two persons are physically present and the transfer takes place. So there is no problem with that. But in Bitcoin payment system, two persons may or may not have met each other, and money gets transferred instantly and anonymously. So pseudonymous nature is inbuilt in the concept of Bitcoin. And by pseudonymous I mean Bob and Alice may never know each other. So Bob may not know that he is dealing with Alice, and Alice may not know that she is dealing with Bob. So this is called anonymous transfer of money, and this is what takes place in Bitcoin. We all know that in business, whenever transaction takes place, our data entry operator or bookkeeper records these transactions at the end of the day or maybe at the end of the week for the entire week in the information system called accounting software. So in the same way, when these Bitcoin transactions happen, these also have to be recorded into database, and this database is actually called blockchain. And the people who compete to do this data entry in the blockchain database are called miners. The Bitcoin miners deal with the recording of the transactions that have taken place in last 10 minutes. All the Bitcoin transactions that took place in last 10 minutes are bundled into one package called block. And then this block of transactions, this package of transactions gets entered into Bitcoin database called blockchain by the fastest miner. Blockchain is nothing else but a distributed database of Bitcoin transactions which gets updated by the quickest miner, who adds a block of the most recent transactions into the existing database named blockchain. The data entry operators and bookkeepers who update blockchain database are blockchain miners, and these blockchain miners get rewarded with bitcoins for doing this work. And the interesting thing is that the Bitcoin miners are not just the data entry operators or bookkeepers, and actually miners are the persons who have a large number of computers with significant computing power, and they work round the clock in creating and mining new bitcoins as well. And they create new bitcoins by solving through internet programming the hash algorithms which result in creating new bitcoins. So the Bitcoin miners also do the job of creating new pieces of unique and vital pieces of information or digital codes that can be used to store the money value, and we call it as Bitcoin. And the whole technical process of creating cryptocurrency is called Bitcoin mining. So basically, Bitcoin miners are both bookkeepers and also the programmers who create new Bitcoins. The crypto system of Bitcoin rewards successful miners for their work. Broadly speaking, when we talk of how Bitcoin technology works, we are talking about Bitcoin's technological infrastructure that makes sure that Bitcoins are created and added to Bitcoin system. This part of technology represents the supply side of cryptocurrency. But on the other side, there is need to create digital wallets where users can hold bitcoins and transfer bitcoins whenever there is a need. This part of technology is actually the demand side of Bitcoin technology. So both supply side and demand side of Bitcoin technology support systems are needed to ensure that payment of Bitcoin works smoothly, efficiently, anonymously, instantly without intermediation from any sort of banking, monetary, and financial authority. And in the next episode, we will dig deeper into the technology behind Bitcoin. So, I, your host, Dr. Mahesh, thank you for joining today. Keep on learning and practicing. See you later.